So in today's video, we're going to be checking out the new plugin by Cymatics called Deja Vu. And we're going to be asking ourselves the question, did they just completely wipe out Halftime by Cableguys? We're going to be doing a side-by-side comparison, and then after that, we'll be making music with the plugins. So here we have Halftime by Cableguys. Halftime by Cableguys was roughly released around 6 years ago. The reason why I had this to begin with is because I wanted that gross beat effect that all FL users were using at the time. I used Ableton, so I needed kind of like a workaround for that. And I'm not sure about now if you can get gross beat in Ableton, but at the time you couldn't. So Cableguys was really solving a problem by creating this Halftime VST plugin. And then comes along Deja Vu by Cymatics, literally just released this week. Deja Vu came along boasting pretty much the same features as Halftime. The only problem people had with Halftime was that it cost $10, and it doesn't seem like a lot to me, or maybe even you, but a lot of people out there just simply couldn't justify paying for it. With Cymatics, they have made this free of charge, completely wiping out any kind of budget problems people had with Halftime. So here we have Halftime by Cableguys, and the GUI is very good, straight to the point. Everyone knows where everything is labeled. Then you go to the Cymatics Deja Vu plugin. In my opinion, this GUI looks a lot cleaner than the Halftime one, but if you take a look, the resemblance is quite striking. Up the top here you have loop, top here you have loop, fade in, fade out, fade in, fade out. Underneath that is mode, underneath that is mode. Bottom left hand corner smooth, bottom left hand corner smooth, bottom right hand corner mix, bottom right hand corner mix, in between band, in between band. Legally, obviously loads of effects plugins do the same as other effects plugins, nothing wrong there legally, but it is really remarkable how similar these GUIs are, just where everything's placed more than anything else. Are they going to get into trouble for this? No, I don't think so, not in my opinion, but they're similar to look at. But are they similar in sound? That's what we're going to do next. We're going to throw a loop on both of these, the same loop, see how similar they are sound wise. Okay, so this is a piano loop beforehand. Now with Halftime. Okay, let's try that same effect there with Deja Vu. I'm also going to move the smooth dial like I just did on here. So we've got 1 bar, mode 2, smooth. To me, that's pretty much the same. The only thing I'd say is that maybe this dial's parameters are slightly different to the other one. Same effect, but maybe 50% say on this dial is a bit different to 50% on the other dial, but pretty much does the same thing. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna switch between the two rapidly and see if we can spot any differences, starting with the Halftime. Literally, that sounds to me exactly the same. So I just want to pause the video there. If you are enjoying the video, if you haven't already, click like on the video and the subscribe button as well. It really does help. Okay, so we're going to go for that loop, that mode, and fully swelled, so it kind of sounds like a reverse a little bit. Loop, swell, cool. See if that sounds the same now. Okay, so that's slightly different. The swell mode on Halftime gives it kind of like a reverse effect, quite slowly swelling it. But the smooth effect at the extreme on Deja Vu kind of swells it a tiny bit quite quickly. Let's go all the way this way then, and we'll try this effect. Again, when you throw it to the extreme of that side of smoothing, the effect is the same effect essentially, but the halftime one sounds better in my opinion. It's a lot slower, whereas the effect in Deja Vu happens a lot quicker and doesn't sound as nice. But you let me know what you think in the comment section below. What I'm going to do now is show you how I would use these plugins in a production. Typically, I'll be using Deja Vu for the examples. So essentially, I use it mostly on pianos. Just pull up your favorite piano, bang out a loop. I've got D sharp minor. If you want to see how I make a piano loop real quick, simply make basic chord pattern, basic minor chord pattern, just skip a note. Once you've got your chord, I like to fire these middle notes up top. Give it that typical drill feeling by dropping this note here. And then really play with the tension notes, so these two notes next to each other always work well. Maybe throw these up an octave. Do that old trick of dropping it 7. I do that in a lot of my productions, drop it either 5 or 7, it works sometimes. And that would be the piano for the main chunk of the production. And then I would use halftime traditionally, now with Deja Vu, to just make a different section of the track and make it sound different. But with using the same piano, you can just throw this plugin on and it will give you a totally different section to your track. Sounds pretty good. So what I'll do with this part is I'd use it as an intro and then it goes into the normal piano afterwards. And there you have 2 different sections just by throwing one plugin on. And I even leave that halftime layer underneath the original piano layer just to give it a bit more thickness in there. Of course, EQ out what you need to EQ out for the bass. And to give you a better example of how that would sound in a final piece, this is how this beat turned out. And there you have it then, is halftime and Deja Vu exactly the same? Let me know what you think in the comments section below. Has Deja Vu completely taken out the competition here by making it free of charge rather than $10? Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments section below. I've been Dixon, be safe, be productive, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one.